Welcome to Stories and Lessons. My name is Amy Ebert. I'm your host for today's podcast. Welcome back to the series, All Things Leadership. Guess what? This is a milestone episode. Number 30. Can you believe it? As I reach this 30th episode mark, I wanted to take a moment to reflect on the journey so far. Let's face it, starting a podcast isn't always sunshine and rainbows. Did you know that according to studies, around half of all podcasts fizzle out after just a few episodes? I think the term that's used is pod fade. And even more, closer to 80% don't make it past the first year. That's a pretty steep drop off, right? And trust me, I understand the challenges. There were times when I felt like throwing in the towel myself, dealing with technical difficulties. Can you relate? The pressure that I put on myself to put out consistent content, stick to a schedule, and sometimes feeling like the downloads just weren't there to really justify the amount of time that I put into it. These things could all be kind of discouraging. But here's the thing I've learned. The key to success is sticking with it. The podcasting landscape is growing with more resources available. It's getting easier for new creators to find their footing. In just our past 6-month podcasting journey alone, the software services we use have all had upgrades and changes all along the way to make it more user-friendly. So they're adapting quickly and making changes as they go as well. Our in-house tools, our equipment, microphones, cameras, all kinds of things, knowledge, and the flow have increased exponentially. When I first got started, I watched a YouTube video where somebody was talking about how you should use this certain app to record your audio podcast. So I plugged my lavalier mic into my phone, recorded on this one app, and then I would have to get that recording over to my Google Drive, and then I'd have to go to my computer, go to the Google Drive, and get that out of there, then put the recording onto this second piece of software and know how to do that software as well. So for me, a big learning curve was figuring out the whole process from concept or idea to script to record to edit to post that worked for me. And that's still adjusting. So a lot, or even most creators actually, cannot emphasize enough to anybody who is new that your target will be found after you start. Some say in as many as 50 to 100 episodes in. Hey friends, are you ready to transform your on-camera presence and unlock your full potential? Did you know that 85% of consumers are more likely to purchase after watching a video? And brands using video can build know, like, and trust up to 3 times faster. If you're feeling nervous or awkward on camera, this can hold you back from achieving the influence, impact, and income you deserve. But what if you could captivate your audience, deliver your message with confidence, and finally feel comfortable in your own skin on camera? That's exactly what our 10X on camera system can help you achieve. In this program, you'll learn the secret techniques used by top performers to command attention, overcome fear, and skyrocket your confidence on camera. Ready to stop hiding behind the lens and step into the spotlight? Visit 10xoncamera.com to learn more about our next free masterclass and enroll today. Sponsor limited, so don't miss out. So you have to get started to even get to where you know where you want to go. Some people have had podcasts for years that they put blood, sweat, and tears into. Years, okay? And it never took off in the way that they had hoped. Maybe there's a little following, a little something, but not really much to be excited about. So they keep this going, and then they have this, let's just start this fun thing over here. I'll keep this one going. Guess what happens? Nearly straight out of the gate, this one with they just got started and they didn't really put much effort into it all. Seemingly not much effort at all. That one just takes off. So adapt and keep moving forward and see what happens. We don't have all the answers. Nobody does. So that's another reason why I initially focused on audio-only episodes, actually. Simple. I started with literally just my phone and a lavalier microphone that I already had. Simple. Since there was definitely going to be a significant learning curve for me in the beginning, since my main original goal was just getting into the habit. Consistency. I learned I can actually just record it straight to my computer after all those extra apps with just the audio. So if anybody who's listening is considering starting and you don't want to because of video, audio is much simpler. It's a much simpler process. So you could at least get started with the audio. You could also do live posting, 0 editing at all. Live, you pop it up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's done. It's done. You're not editing. You're not taking a bunch of time doing extra stuff after. In fact, that's what some of my fellow podcasters are now doing. Otherwise, they would painstakingly overanalyze the editing, meaning it just might not even get out at all. 6 months later, hey buddy, you have that? You have that? Yeah, is that up yet? No. Here's the way you handle it. Throw it up on a live. Done. And commit. Maybe in advance, commit to your choice, right? Every week, every other week, once a month, quarterly, just a seasonal topic. Our longer form content is usually an interview, so I just take my time with guests. Those end up being about 45 minutes to an hour, but my stuff that's just me, I want to put out a little nugget or a quick few helpful nuggets that relate to the current series that can be helpful for your lives. My first series was All Things Boundaries. Then my second series, All Things Outside of Your Comfort Zone. And then the third series, All Things Leadership, with some interviews splashed in. I only planned the first series. I knew I was going to keep going, but I'm like, all right, let's get started with boundaries. I was reading a book at the time called Boundaries, which I will leave the link below. It's a good book. But when it was time to, wrap up that series, that just kind of guided me to the next series, which was Boundaries on one side, All Things Outside of Your Comfort Zone on the next. And then it guided me to the next one, and then it's going to guide me to the one that's after that. You never know where some things might lead you, but the crazy part is, in my example, you need all 3 of these to operate successfully in any area of your life, right? You need boundaries. You need to establish those, whatever that is for you. You need to also learn new things, get outside of your comfort zone, keep moving forward, and leadership, whether it's in the health avenue or the relationship avenue or the wealth avenue. Isn't that interesting? I didn't know that in advance, and those things led me into all those things, but you need them in all areas. My point is this: I adapted. And that's what podcasting is all about. It's a constant learning process. And there will be definitely unexpected hurdles along the way, but the rewards, connecting with all of you and sharing things that I know and what I'm working on, what I'm learning, what's worked for me, and the learning and the growing make it all worthwhile. Having said that, thank you for listening to today's podcast. If you got value from what we've provided, why not spread the love by sharing this episode with someone? Subscribe to or follow the show so you never miss an episode, and give us a positive 5-star review or a thumbs up, depending on which platform you're currently on, and share with others. For more stories and lessons, check out some of my other episodes in the series. Thank you for showing up, and be well.